Alright, this is Dr. Von Mad. I'll show you what I planned on doing. Remember we were talking about trying to put the finishing touches by putting this on? So I'll show you what I've got in mind. From other hobbies that we won't be showing on our channel anytime soon, I've got some 38 special shell casings that have already been fired. You can see the little firing pin indentation in the primer. I'm going to put those, I'm going to put a little bit, since they won't fit in there nice and easy right here. We're going to make it like a little extra ammo thing. Since it won't fit in there, so it's all wibbly and wobbly, we're going to cut some of this craft foam again and make us a nice little shoe to put it on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the, and I'll show you what else we're going to do in a minute here. Alright, we're going to cut this down a little bit more because I want it to be able to fit inside. Because this is going to go inside our slot right here. So I'm letting the glue heat up. Let me see if I can get this glue firing up here. Not quite ready yet, so we're going to show you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to cut two of these out because we got one of these on each side. So we're going to cut it here, and here, and here. That's going to make a nice little shoe to kind of hold this thing in. Meantime, show you what we're going to do, since it wouldn't make any sense to have a spent shell casing, and since you don't want to use live rounds or even dummy rounds, we'll take some Sculpey. We're going to make us a couple of mock-ups to put inside the casing on this thing. So, got a little bit of this clay here. I'm going to wad this up into a ball, and we'll paint it gunmetal gray after it's hardened. This stuff has to be baked. I'm obviously not going to bake it in the casings, but I am going to make the thing where it'll fit in the casings. So we need to cut this down just a little bit more, because I don't want it sticking. It can't muffin top over the top of this. It's got to kind of fit like it was designed to fit in there. Something like that right there. Now, see, now that's going to look very nice when it's done. So we'll go ahead and make one more like it. Then I'll pull those out of the shell casings and go ahead and get these baking up while I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and make us another dummy here to put on the inside of this thing. So we're going to glue this in when we're done, you see. Okay, we got it a little bit too thick, so it's going to be narrowed down a piece. And now, see, and we'll paint that gunmetal. So we're going to put that to one side until I can put these little shoes in place on this thing. So then we'll come back and do a little more work on the hand grip. I'm probably going to end up having to paint it brown, and then kind of working with that. Okay, we got our hot glue in here. We're going to take the shoe, we're going to drop it in here, and kind of use kind of a thing here to kind of push this in. There we go. Now, got this in place where I want it. I can take the scissors now, come up here and shear off this excess. And a little more of this excess. Now, let's push this on in so we don't want it sticking out at all. Now, let's test it on our bullet. Oh yeah, and see, we'll glue it into place like that. And there you are. So we're going to go and get this fired up, and we'll be back with you shortly. Yeah, let me go ahead and get this other side glued in here before I head out. Let's go ahead and glue this other kind of a shoe in here. So let's go ahead and do it. Alright, pluck that, because we got a little bit of this going on. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to slide this into place. Now, Let's go up here and grab our scissors and shear off the extra. Now, push this in, and that should do it for right now. Now we're going to go put this bits of clay in the oven for a few minutes and let that heat up, and we'll be back with you soon. Well, this is Dr. Von Mad. We're about to paint some more on this hand grip while I'm waiting for the bullets to cool down. So, I'm going to go ahead and grab my paint over here. Like I said, I'm going to give this one more paint and swipe, and if it keeps bleeding through that silver, I'm just going to paint it brown and then paint the wood grain on myself. So, let me get my brush cleaned off here. Oh, got my glue gun firing up right now, and we'll see what we can do. So, let's schlep this thing around here, and let's see what we can do. I'll try to do a little bit of something else too while I'm over here. I'm just going to paint this in up and down stuff to kind of make the strokes themselves look like grain, like a wood grain. Need a little more of this paint. Now, take our brush here and just kind of douse it just real gentle like. I have a feeling I'm going to end up having to paint it solid and then have to clear it off. I mean, one side doesn't look half bad, but I think I'm going to end up painting it, just do a solid color on it and then paint the wood grain on by hand using the pinpoint brush. So I think that's what we're going to do. Hey, it was worth a try. If it had been another color, it probably would have worked. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint it up and down strokes to make it look like the wood grain. Now I'm just going to let that dry like that. Then I'll come in with the lighter and darker shades. Now, let's take a look at our bullets now. Okay, we've got our shell casings here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of glue inside of this. And take our bullet and down into this thing, and might have to do a little bit of carving on it to get rid of some of this extra. But that doesn't look too bad. I've seen a lot worse. And you could sand it off or trim it, whatever, you know. Let's see if I've got a blade here. Should have my X-Acto on me. Yes, I do. So let me get this out and we'll knobble this down a little bit. Alright, now see if we can do this here. So I want it to be as evened up as possible. It's got to look like it was manufactured like this. That'll work. Now let's do the other one. Now you could have put like a flat tip or whatnot on them, but I'm just going to squeeze in a little bit of this glue. Grab our other casing and drop it in here. And it's going to be a little bit of a tight fit too. Apparently this stuff tends to be a tad it expands apparently when it heats up. So let's see if we can carve this down just a little bit now. Make sure that these look similar. That's pretty close. Now, move our gun up here while the paint's drying. Move it out of the way because we're going to be doing a little more painting. Got our shells here. Gunmetal gray. Right here. Now you got to be real careful. I'm going to probably have to sponge a little bit of paint off of the point when I'm done. We're going to grab a kind of a medium fine brush. And let's paint our bullet casing here, our bullet. I say I'll probably end up having to sponge some of this off of the brass itself. Yeah. There you go. Now let's clean off a little around that edge while it's still wet. Let's go ahead and paint this one. This one looks a little better than the other one. Let's go ahead and get up around this edge here. There we go. Got a little bit of a stringer sticking off there, but that's okay. Now, there we go. Now let's bring these back over here. That looks pretty good, actually. Now, our next step, bring our pistol back over. Believe it or not, we are almost done. Got to do a little bit of work on the hand grip, but other than that, we're not doing badly at all. There you go. That looks kind of cool. Now we'll flip this over, and we'll put a little glue in here, and we'll put our other bullet in here. And in a way it kind of keeps with the original design of the pistol. Ooh, still got some brown paint on this hand grip so I can't handle it, but there you are. We're going to paint we'll let this dry, and then we'll come back and finish the hand grips, and this dude is about done. So this is Dr. Von Mad, and we'll be back with you in a little bit here. Alright, we're back, and I'm about to put the finishing touches on this thing. Then after that, it'll just be a matter of spraying a bit of clear coat on it. But after this, it will be effectively complete, so let's see what we can do. First thing we're going to do is grab a bit of a fine point brush here. The colors you're going to be needing today are black and toasted vanilla. And I'll show you why here in a minute. Alright, let's get us a little bit of this black hair paint here. And lean in on it so we can see what we're doing. We're just gonna kind of paint a kind of a little wood grain right in here. It's kind of a as you gotta remember, wood grain is basically the rings of the tree. It's the story of that tree's life. It's its biography, as it were. So, the strokes on this thing, and you won't be able to see that on video, I'm afraid. But now some of this is still wet, so to be very careful here. And probably only be able to paint the one side at present. But that'll work for now. Now, we'll go ahead and grab put up the black and get the toasted vanilla. and you'll kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. Alright, let me wash off my pinpoint brush. Okay. I'm going to grab our toasted vanilla. Shake it up because sometimes paint separates. Particularly these acrylics. Just need a little hint. I'm going to try to move my camera around where you can see what I'm doing here. Just a hint of wood grain on it. Just a hint, because this is kind of a little bit of a lighter wood here to kind of contrast it. Just little specks here and there. Okay. We're going to have to let that side dry. This paint's still a little wet over here. Anyway, so we're going to let that dry. But you get the idea of how we're doing it. So the other side's not going to look too much different. The only thing remaining is to go and spray some clear coat. I think I've done that in other videos. So there you have it, the steampunk gun. If you like these videos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified, and I will see you cats, one and all, on the flip side. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye. Well, this is Dr. Von Mad, and I'm sounding much better, so I'm figuring I'm doing a lot better. It's kind of rainy and cold and drizzly out here today. But today we're going to put the finishing touches on this thing. I told you I was going to put some clear coat on it, and that's about what we're about to do. Kind of seal it in. Just kind of want to give it a bit of a shine. I'll probably have to do this in two separate measures. Got a little bit of rust along here, it looks like, around this edge. But that's alright. I still think it turned out pretty nice. Now, that actually turned out really well, I think. We're going to let that dry a few minutes. I'll come back and spray the other side. I figure you kind of get the idea. I just kind of sprayed an even coat over the top of it. Sprayed an even coat all over it. We'll flip it over. We'll do the other side when it dries. And then we'll show you what the completed product looks like. This is Dr. Von Mad. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified. And I'll see you cats, one and all, on the flip side. Thanks for watching, and God bless.